You're listening to the Slavic Literature Pod, your shelf help guide to all things Slavic. I'm Cameron Lolana.
And I'm Matt Gerasimovich.
And today we're covering Part 2, Chapter 5 of Vasily Grossman's Life and Fate, returning to Yevgenia after Novikov has left. And now she's thinking, hey, maybe actually it wouldn't be bad to be around Novikov.
Yep.
Now that I think about it, it kind of does suck that Krimov is like really uncaring about human life, and to a kind of a little bit of a frightening degree. But I don't know, who can I talk about it with? I want to talk to Sofia Leventon, and well, she's gone. Maybe my sister. Well, she's dead. Maybe my roommate. She's been deported. So not a great time to be Yevgenia, all things considered.
No, I wouldn't think it would be. I think this chapter kind of highlights the. All right, Alfie's decided to get going. I think this chapter sort of highlights the effect of what happens essentially when you lose an entire community around you. All of these things that should be kind of like not fun, but like, you know, when you just want to gossip, and so it highlights that sort of loss of community around you, right? Like you're, you know, flirting with a boy, or you're about to get into a relationship, and it's something that should be, you know, not fun, but it's sort of some communal gossip that should be happening, right? And there's nobody at all for her to talk to about anything, and that's really sad. And so instead, she's gaslighting herself into thinking, well, maybe Krimov wasn't that bad.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the sense of loneliness is so profound in this chapter. I think this is something that Grossman has been talking about through much of this novel, the loss. We've been talking about the loss of human life and what that means, especially in the loosely termed them the Holocaust chapters. But here we also are really engaging with that individual human loss, not just the moment of, for example, Seryozha thinking about his home, which has been lost, which is terrible and tragic. And yet Seryozha is still with a new family. And there are many people who don't find that new family that Seryozha has with that loss. And so, you or I might lose someone, and then you might think, oh, I'd love to share this with X person. And then they're gone. And maybe they're dead. Maybe it's a relationship you no longer have, like a romantic or friend or otherwise. And that's tough. And here we have an extreme version of that, where everyone, as you said, for these kind of, in this case, this discussion about her emotional life, just gone. There's no one she can talk to. And not only is it that the case that she doesn't have people, but she is missing people who she trusted and relied on for these things. And just to, add insult to injury, to kick her while she's down, her nephew Tolya is dead, which she learns at the end of the chapter, which again hammers home this point we've been talking about so much of how much is lost during this war, right? I think from a Western perspective, it can be hard to conceptualize the amount of life lost in the Eastern theater, right? We've been talking about the Battle of Stalingrad. The Battle of Stalingrad, the number of people who die there, granted both, including the Soviet Union and the Wehrmacht, is 4 times the amount of casualties, that's killed and wounded, that America had in the whole of World War II. So I think this is helping us get at the immensity of the loss and the war that I think Westerners or people in the West don't always appreciate.
Yeah, it's starting to get us there, but we're not quite all the way there yet. And there's always room for things to get worse. And they do.
That's the motto of this series.
Yeah, that is the motto.
Yeah, but that's most of what I had to say for this chapter. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to cover.
No, that was kind of where I was at with this one. It was a sad one, a sad conclusion to this little arc we've been on together.
Yeah, for sure. It's a sad one, but just remember, it'll get worse.
It'll get worse, exactly. And on that happy note, I think we can leave you, dear listener, until we talk to you tomorrow, meaning you will hear from us again soon.
hey, hey.